Well, that is one small green. If you're trying to hit that, you better be a pretty good golfer. Good morning, everybody. My eyesight is getting poor in my old age. We're here at stop number 1 on Thursday, 2 weeks out from a filter clean. They have a Purex DE filter here, so I cleaned that up, and yeah, that water is just crystal clean. And Hayward Aquanaut 400. Yeah, there's a few leaves, but no problems. Great looking water, no algae, winter cool. Okay, let's take our chems. Okay, let's take our chems here. No real deep end here, but let's go take this 52-degree plunge. Wim Hof, baby, Wim Hof. All right, let's check it out here. Okay, so we have plenty of chlorine for a winter pool, great pH, alkalinity, and our cyanuric is slightly on the high side because we sanitize here with the 3-inch tabs. But let me just take a look at the tabs or tab that is in the floater here, and maybe I'll add one. It's actually pretty good, but because it's like a 1.5. No, you know what? This one is done. I'm gonna add a tab, and then I'm assured that the pool will be sanitized throughout the week. Okay, I'm gonna clean it up here, and we'll move on to stop 2. Okay, over here at the equipment to empty the pump basket. You know, this is a good example of why it's really good to have a leaf canister in line with your cleaner. So if you do that, then you're still going to check the leaf canister, or excuse me, the pump basket every week like you would normally, but I just find that the leaf canister allows you to go longer in between filter cleans, because inside the inline leaf canister there is a nylon sock, which is another physical barrier, another filter as it were. And so that sock, yeah, I always check schedules in case someone changed something on me. It takes 10 seconds. Yeah, so the leaf canister, let's see it prime. Okay, once again, Pentair pump. Very, very few bubbles in that pump basket. But back to the leaf canister. It would just go in line here on maybe the second length of hose, and we'll just catch things before it goes to the filter itself, and that will allow you to go a little bit longer in between filter cleans, because you're catching things in a preliminary manner rather than after the fact. But yeah, I'm gonna just net the few things that are still here, and we'll move on to stop 2. Great little pool. Here we are, Thursday, stop 2, and I wonder if my putting green is done yet. Somehow I don't have a good feeling about this. just pulled back the cover, as it were. Look at this, almost got decapitated by the laundry line. Alright, here we go. So, you know, this pool is such a joy to take care of. I listen to the advice, the suggestions. Once again, I have a early morning, as I do with any pool whose spa I suspect is not circulating properly. I always put a couple of programs in the schedule for, this is a Jandy pool, so this is a spillway, as in opposition to a spillover. You know, I never really talk about the grotto, but you know, that's kind of cool. Go and hang out with your sweetheart there. But on a hot day, I'm sure that's the place to be. But anyway, we're pretty near the beach here in San Diego. I don't know how hot it really ever gets, but I'm gonna take the chems and we'll clean it up and move on. Okay, so let's take the chems here, and I'm a big spender. I take 2 readings here when I get here initially. One in the spa. Okay, wow. That is quite a bit. And then one in the pool. Yeah, and they're, like I said last week, the homeowner told me that, you know, hey, they're gonna have guests over, kids and whatnot. So yeah, that is a ton of chlorine, probably like a 5 or a 7, which is way more than we would normally need in winter here. But like I said, when they have use here, it's a full-on rockin' party. So not a real rockin' party, but what I'm saying is there's kids and there's people using it. So the homeowner said that there was going to be some visitors, so I left the chlorine high, thinking that it would get used, and it didn't. It's still really high. So I will add nothing and clean it up and move on here. But you know, this pool speaks for itself. Jandy pool, that Aqua Pure salt system from the Jandy company works pretty dang good. Okay, I am not from Oregon, but I have a lot of relatives from Oregon, but I am like a duck, you know. But I don't like getting mud on my feet, or my butt for that matter. But so what I'm going to do is say goodbye to the pool, and we're going to go over, since we're having to walk across the mud, we don't want to get any on our feet and retrack it on this beautiful pool deck. So we're going to go across one time and one time only, or we're going to go across and back. You know what I mean. Okay, so anyway, now we're going to get here to the equipment. I'm not going to damage the lettuce here. Very important lettuce. Okay, so make it in here and do the deed. Okay, and this is another example of why I use the Pool RX. I really thought that this was going to be a much heavier use pool, at least these couple of weeks. I was wrong, but can't be faulted for erring on the side of caution. That being said, okay, we're here at the pump basket. We got the Pool RX. Maybe that's one of the reasons why the chlorine is so high. I forget what I have this salt cell set at. I think it's like 60%. turned it off to 0. There's a very good chance that could have happened. Okay, so anyway, this is an example of a pool that is currently over chlorinated, but no big deal. We just won't add anything for a while, and we'll turn down the salt cell to 0. Still priming, Jandy. This pool running. Okay. Okay. For all you people who like those satisfying prime ups, that's for you. So here we are. We're still at 3450. But we're only at 15 pounds, and that's going to reduce to 10. Okay, so prime my pump. This pool does not run until 9 a.m. so there's no need to be running it right now. Pool's clean, pool's chemmed, it's primed up and ready to go when it does start at 9. So let's I have to actually stop by the wholesaler to pick up chemicals and a few other things, but we're going to move on to stop 3. Okay, I got my blood flowing here. It's kind of a slow start. It's cold, man. These old bones need a little bit of wake up. So here we are. Our pool is running, and that is the way the homeowner likes it. She runs the pool longer than I asked her to run it. And so here it is, about 7, maybe quite 8 o'clock in the morning, and the pool is running. So during the summer, this will run 8 to 4, as all my pools do. But yeah, it might even be that the clock is off or something. Maybe there's a power outage or something like that. But so look at all that air in that pump basket. Jandy. Okay, and let me see what this says. Well, I can't read anything without my glasses. Hey, look forward to growing old. It's a lot of fun. So anyway, this pool does stay pretty clean. I know I get some help from my homeowner. She is a sweetheart, and I just love taking care of this pool. It's a total pleasure. This backyard is just a nice place to be. It's not fancy, but I don't know, I like it. Okay, let's take our chemicals here in the deep end. All right, so okay, so I have not, this is exactly as I expected it. I have not been adding too many chemicals here, and it's reflective. So that's like 1 perfect winter pool stuff, 7.8 perfect alkalinity, and high on tabs or high on cyanuric, because we sanitize with tabs most of the time. My floater disappeared here, but that's no big deal. I'm gonna add very little, just a little bit of chlorine to the stairs and whatnot. Brush, clean it, and then we'll move on to the big fatty. Okay, so we're gonna add some chemicals here to this pool, which is not super common, but I always find the return line here next to the stairs, and I just put it right there. Now that'll broadcast it pretty well, but I also like to just make sure that Yeah, so that's a total of a half gallon. And you know, I feel like there's probably gonna be a pretty big warm-up coming here. I mean, the pool water is still 55 degrees or something like that, but I'm not going to be adding any salt until I see my last cold water cutoff, right? And now that's a term, that's a Pentair term, that when the water is too cold and the salt cell cannot produce any chlorine, it just gives what's a message, a red light, and it'll say cold water cutoff, not producing. And so that's fine. So when I see the last of those, then I'm going to start adding salt, but not until then. That's why today when I was at the wholesaler, I picked up liquid chlorine. I also picked up a few Pool RXs for customers who, well, some people, I try to give people the Amazon link to Pool RXs so they can buy them for even cheaper than what I can sell them to them for. But that time of the season has passed, and now Pool RXs are like $70 a piece for, you know, if you get a good price. So yeah, back in I don't know, when I was telling everybody to buy them in like November, they were $43. Now some of them, they're $80. The black one is 80. So anyway, I'm gonna stop yammering, I'm gonna brush, and then we'll move on to the big fatty. Okay, big fatty time. You know, if you guys remembered last week, we had our arborist out here. He was doing his job, which I fully believe is very, very important for the success of this backyard. There isn't just a pool in this backyard, there's a lot of other things. And this house has some Airbnb stuff going on. I mean, this is like a 3-acre property. So yeah, I almost feel like, I mean, it is the size of a hotel pool. And although it doesn't get used as much as a hotel pool, I have to kind of treat it like one. But don't know if you can see this on camera, but there's a tremendous amount of dust here that, you know, I fully expected. All things considered, this is pretty good. I can tell that my homeowner has been helping me out. He probably knows that I would be super pissed if there was a bunch of trees in here. Yeah, my homeowner is a great guy. He helps me out, and the two of us together keep this pool sparkling clean. Let's take our chems. Okay, let's take our chems here. Salt pool with a Pentair IC40 salt chlorine generator. So wow, yeah, so since the pool is so big during the summer, I will use 3-inch tablets to help supplement the chlorination, but I haven't been doing that for months. The floaters are sitting by the equipment. So if you can see, there's plenty of oxidation, ORP here, or chlorine, and then we have a good 7.6 pH. Our alkalinity is awesome, and we're bang on for cyanuric. You know, the total hardness of the water, we're looking pretty good on that too. So anyway, I'm gonna drag the Pentair Rebel to where he can be effective. And it's kind of funny, this thing, this house's pool was kind of, I don't know if you can see here, this thing going on, and then you have this island. The homeowner tells me that when they bought this house, this was kind of like a, I don't know, a buccaneer kind of theme where, you know, this is the pirate ship, as it were. But anyway, let me go and walk the plank, and I can retrieve the Pentair Rebel and get him working for us. Now, I go at about 230 pounds. Does that piece of wood look like it's gonna support something my weight? Yeah. Anyway, mentioned it to the homeowner. He must like to walk on the wild side. But anyway, so let's get okay. So now let's drag him to the deep end where he can be effective. There's really nothing in the deep end, but it's going to be easier for him to, well, he climbs the hill obviously and gets stuck there. So this is where I put him week in and week out, and I've had a lot of success with that. So anyway, let me brush it, and I'll come right back. You know, one of the things that I don't do here often is go by the equipment, and it's the last thing that I do when I'm here. And the reason that I do that is that I'm always here before 9 a.m. right? And today's no exception. It's 8:45. This pool is not supposed to be running, so I put it, do a little egg timer. I don't even put it in service mode. I do a little egg timer, and yeah, that's it. And then when it's time to leave, I just hit the reset button, because this pool runs 9 to 4, and it doesn't need to run before or after. It takes a lot of energy to run this pool, and I am very sensitive to my customers' energy needs. So, as all of us pool guys should be. By the same token, pool owners, homeowners, don't nickel and dime your pool guy. Run the pump the amount that it needs to be run, and that is, for me, 9 to 4 in the winter, 8 to 4 in the summer. And then your pools will all look like mine, which, isn't that what we're all going for in life? That's right. Okay, here we are at our Jandy cluster. Look at that water. It's almost, I mean, it's glassy. How clear it is. Once again, they're listening to suggestions and putting the floater in the pool, precluding our buddies the ducks. I just like to do a little walk around here. There's often little worms that get in this spa here. I have no idea how they get there. They must be highly motivated. A little dusty, nothing new. I'll just try to keep the weenies out of the pool. So yeah, because they're not helpful at all. They often do this, and they go right in front of the skimmer, and then they make my pool dirtier than it needs to be. So anyway, let's take our weenies and put them over there. There's no way that they're going to be falling in. We'll take Ducky from Pretty in Pink. We'll get him out of here. And so now we'll do our thing. We'll brush, we'll net, and but first we're going to do our chems. Okay, let's do our chems here in the deep end of the pool. Wow, quite a bit of water still here left over from the rainstorms. It's nice to see pools holding water. I won't be probably evacuating anymore for the rest of the year. That's just my prediction. Tons and tons of ORP here in the pool. Plenty and plenty of You know the drill. Number 2 and 3 is what we're looking at for chlorine, and our number 3 is, our number 4 is our pH. It's bang on, plenty of alkalinity, and we don't use any tabs here, so we're slightly low on cyanuric, but we have the Pool RX, and so that really helps us hold on to the chemicals we have. Yeah, like I said, we'll brush and net, and we'll move on to stop number 6. Okay, we are out of here. The only thing we have left to do is hit the pump basket, but yeah, our pool cleans up super nice. No wormies in here, and all flat surfaces have been brushed. Ducky is back in the pool protecting. Actually, it's funny, I did find some feathers right here. Here's an example of one right there. So yeah, even though we think we see very little evidence of ducks, ducks are everywhere. They're in the sky. Okay, we're gonna just empty the pump basket really quick here. I want to give you guys all of the value that you deserve. So like showing you like how much is actually in the pump basket for this pool. So okay, so we're putting it back into auto mode, and we're waiting for the pump to prime here. We're gonna go borrow a little bit of water from the spa, help speed up the process. Okay, and make sure never to forget, we gotta, like we did at our pool yesterday, we don't want to screw up our actuators, because you don't want to ever drain the spa rather, like yesterday, and that's how you do it, by forgetting your actuator. Okay, so we're here at stop 2 of 3, 6 overall. Can anybody see anything that might be an issue? The time currently is 9:30. Yeah, this is now the second time that this has happened, where the homeowner has turned off the pool thinking that they're turning it off, but what they realize that they're not doing is they're ostensibly deactivating the pool. Yeah, this pool should be running, and we'll just wake it up and get it going. But yeah, this is very frustrating. I don't like this. We've talked about this before, and so, you know, under different circumstances, this would, you know, could cost me time. And to be honest with you, my time is just as worth as just as much as anybody's that I work for. So when you have me work for you, or when you get a pool guy, what you're buying is time. Okay, there's nothing that he is doing aside from maybe changing out some equipment or something that you can't do yourself. So when you're hiring somebody like me, that's what you're doing. You're buying time. So yeah, once again, like somebody said, I think it was Big Rock, time to educate. Yeah, well, it's a different pool, and I thought I kind of did educate already, but anyway, we'll move on. There is reasons why I am called the Angry Pool Man. It's not just a name. Okay, let's go to our deep end and do our chems. Once again, all of my pools are low on salt. It's been very cold, and it's only now starting to warm up just a skosh. And as we can all see, there is plenty of chlorine in this pool. We have good pH, great alkalinity, and low cyanuric, but that's because this is a salt pool. We don't add any tabs on a regular basis. We might add tabs if there's no chlorine and we're low on cyanuric. Once again, that 2-for-1 I've mentioned before. But yeah, let's take the salt just for grins here. I know we're low, but just to see how low. Yeah, so 2500 is not gonna do it, but that's okay. We're doing okay on the usage here. They haven't used the pool. Okay, we're out of here. Everything looks really good, but I do get very frustrated when I see that the pool has not been operated properly. Like I said before, it's basically just been deactivated, right? So if it's not running, I don't know when the last time this pool ran. I'm not really sure. But anyway, this is what I always try to avoid, and this is why I am so big on homeowner education. Like, you got to know the rudimentary things on how to run your pool, and if you don't know how to run your pool, call your service professional. If you don't know how to run your pool and you don't have a service professional, probably about time to call one. Okay, you guys, so let's talk to the new pool owners. Okay, so you know, things happen. The cleaner comes out, and I know maybe, hey, you're out on a business trip or something like that, but yeah, see, this is really worrying me again, because look at how low this spa is. Look at how low this spa is. Oh. Now, we're at the tile line. So what's going on here? I have experienced more sabotage in the last couple of days than I have in the last couple of months. Okay, let's take our chems here. Yeah, this is, I think I might name this pool the Demoralizer, because I have this and one other pool that is like, I'm actually adding liquid chlorine. There's a tiny bit left, but I left tabs here last week. I would consider that like a 1 or maybe even a 0.5. So let's turn our pump back on. Let's see what's in the skimmer basket here. Okay. Yeah, pool is low. So once again, this is another pool where the homeowner has to monitor the water level himself or herself, and I don't like that. Okay, we are out of here. Everything looks good. I get bothered when the cleaners get dislodged because it's so easy to put them back, but I also get very worried and perturbed that, you know, how does the spa drain down? Well, I know a few ways, but that's something that has never happened before this week, especially down all the way to the tile line. Like I said, they have little peepee kids, and so who knows, maybe somebody touched the actuator. I don't know, it's highly unlikely, but I mean, I don't know how many, there's only, you know, pool school 101 principles that could be at play here. Okay, you're sucking from the pool and you're returning, or you're sucking from the spa and you're returning to the pool. So anyway, we're out of here. Okay, last thing here, I was adding water, and this is a manual manual water fill here. So one of the things that I do is I will leave my keys right here on the valve, so I'm not going anywhere. some companies have policies of like, oh, well, we don't add water. We just tell the customer to add water. No, that does not work. It's good to tell the customer to pay attention and be a part of their pool and learn things. But it's really my job to add the water that needs to be added. If someone's home and I need to continue to add water after I'm gone, I'm very leery about doing that because, you know, people are doing other things. This is my job, not theirs. That's why they pay me. That being said, I'm not going to sit here for an hour and wait for the pool to fill up. I just can't do that. Nor should you expect any pool man to do that. That's why it's so important to get your auto filler. And if you don't have an auto filler, there's ways around it. You can buy something, I'll put a link in the description to something you can hook up to your garden hose and it'll monitor the water level for you. You won't have to pay attention to it as long as that thing doesn't break. Just make sure that you get one because you gotta have water in the pool. Okay, here at the first account, and you know, more mysteries. Is my homeowner hosing this stuff in? I see this here every week since the rains, and yeah, that's not normal. So I am wondering what's going on. I sincerely hope there's no hosing off of the pool deck. You know, it was funny when I did the startup on this pool, whatever it was, 3 years ago, and so as has been customary with me and builders is we don't get along very well because a lot of builders, they screw their employees. They totally underpay them, and when you're talking in terms of a startup, for me with a salt pool, that's a 4-week process, right? And so if you're driving far away from your house, which this is not far from my house, but my point is that if you are driving and it's going over a 4-week period, and say you're only making like $500 for the startup, that's not a good deal. Okay, so this person, this builder gave me a bunch of startups, and I did them all, but they were all very far away from my house, so I didn't service any of them except this one pool. And there were some issues, as is customary, as you guys have seen. And I remember telling my homeowner, hey, call the builder and tell him what was up. And they badmouthed me, saying, oh, well, you got problems with your pool because you got a bad pool man. And my homeowner stuck with me, so I mean, and that meant so much to me. It gave me the courage to start my own business, and here we are today. So now I got like 30 accounts of the best customers that there ever was. I'm so appreciative that people put their trust in me and their faith in me, and allowed me to take care of their considerable investment. Anyway, I'm prattling on. Let's take our chems and we'll get going to our last pool of the day. Okay, so let's take our chems. Yeah, it's definitely considerably warmer today. I think it might even hit 70, 72, and that's air temp. Our water temp is still maybe in the high 50s or low 60s. Okay, so we're really good on let's see, I think we're good on salt here. No, we're low. Well, anyway, once again, the chlorine production is very low because the water has been so cold, and like I said before, I'm not adding any salt until the water temperature warms up to, I don't know, maybe consistency 70 degrees. So right here is what you'll see. This is called a cold water shutoff, and that has been happening with a lot of my pools. Now it's warmed up today, but I guarantee you this morning that cold water shutoff light was on. So anyway, we're gonna just take everything out of our skimmer basket here. I wonder what happens and how we get that dust every week. Very interesting. No, more like very frustrating, but anyway, we'll clean up and we'll move on. Okay, I believe we're out. We have vacuumed, which I never do here, and we have brushed. Pantera Rebel, I don't know, it does an okay job here. Homeowner had another blue Pantera Rebel before this, and yeah, this one works better, but still doesn't work quite as good as I'd like it to. It keeps pretty clean, but you know, sometimes some of the pool deck seems to come in the sand from the pool deck. Anyway, we are out of here. Next pool is our last of the day. Okay, also wanted to show you one thing about this pool and any Pantera or any salt cell whatsoever. Right here we have our indicator lights, right? And this one says this means good salt, right? It means that we have 3600 or, you know, enough to make chlorine. Now that might be true, okay? But what I'm trying to say is the importance of a proper salt meter, okay? I don't want to rely on that green light. I don't even want to rely on the parts per million that the Easy Touch is going to tell me, because it does. This one contains the cable that goes from the Easy Touch to to the IC, whatever this is, 20 or 30. And yeah, so you need a salt meter, okay? That's how you're gonna properly manage the salt, because you don't want to rely on that green light. He's lying to you. Okay, so last stop of the day. Not too much wind. Old Glory is not moving a whole lot. Swim up bar, Pantera Rebel with a, I don't know, Hayward leaf canister. It doesn't matter, they all get along. Yeah, this is this pool is not solid state. It does get dirty, and then it also has a lot of other factors where, you know, obviously trees, we're surrounded here, and then, you know, these bar stools are they're no picnic, okay? So where this is, you know, there's a return right here, so spraying all over these things, which makes it so much more important to have this in particular pool. You know, you got to have the filter clean, or else if this filter is dirty, this pool, you know, gets all kinds of algae right along here. And you know, the thing about this pool is there is 0 chemicals in it every week, and it doesn't matter whether it's been summer or winter. There's just no, I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's in full sun. It definitely, you know, all of my pools right now, salt pools, are low on salt, just because it's not smart to add salt in the winter. Like I said before, I would rather add liquid chlorine or a tab instead of, like, you know, cross my fingers and hope that the salt cell works to sanitize the pool. Some families use their pools year round, and so and then some of them, it's, you know, much more seasonal. But just check out the pool and then check out the spa. The spa stays very, very clean. Everybody knows to keep their feet clean, and they have little pee-pee kids here, I'm pretty sure. And either way, they might have little pee-pee kids, but this is definitely an adult type pool here, the swim up bar. Okay, not much of a deep end here, and I think one of the best return to sample our water is right here, okay, right next to the bar stools. Once again, nothing in this pool, nothing. Some pools are really thrifty and lean on chemicals, and other ones like this one, not so much. So anyway, I'm gonna brush And I am going to add a gallon to make sure that this pool is sanitized over my absence here. And the way we're going to do that is we're just going to take all our stuff right over here. And like I've shown you before, I like to add kind of right on the stairs here. I'm going to add half of this right here. Okay, so that's half a gallon. And then we're going to go over to our bar stools and we're just going to drench these guys. Is it filter clean time? Definitely. This filter was supposed to be done in January and we're in the second week of February. That's on me. But there's no algae here. It's just that these are my policies. These are my proactive policies. I don't want to be fighting algae. I want to be getting out ahead of it. Okay guys, so that's it for the day. Hey, thanks a lot for watching another one of my videos. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. If you feel that you've got some value out of this content, please feel free to make a comment, give me a like, and if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It's free. I mean, come on. I'm here working for you, trying to give you every bit of value I can, and it's been a pleasure to serve you. We will see you tomorrow.